Okay, we are back, and one entity is missing material for construction, apparently. Why was I placing down a rare one? No idea, but let's not. That'll do. Ah, my tea isn't ready yet. Oh, I'm sorry, Obgod. It's alright, I'll hang tight for a few moments for you. Can't rush tea. Okay, so one of the things that I'm faced with right now is that I've created a system which is capable of removing things from a train that shouldn't be there. But it occurs to me that since we're making this agnostic, it's simply going to go to a station and then go to the drop-off and then come back here. Unless I would have to make an interrupt that checked if it had cargo. And if it had cargo, it would return, it would go to, because this should be the only train that ever has excess cargo. It comes here to get unloaded. But it occurs to me, the fruit trains will never finish their job unless they are fully unloaded. I don't really need this, and this is the value of stepping away every now and then. Sometimes you're too close to the problem that all you can see is the immediate puzzle that you're trying to solve, one chunk of the larger problem, and you can't see how the rest of the problem is interacting with things. So the problem that we can very, very easily resolve is to instead... Actually, these should be requested chests. My bad. Make it so that if any train shows up to the depot without... with a cargo of inventory, unload it at that point. There's no reason for it to be there with anything in its inventory. These should be set to request the fruits that this location is going to want. There we go. This should be all of them forever. And this one should be requesting these ones. Again, this isn't really all of them forever, but, you know, it'll do. There we go. Wow. Alright, alright, alright. I'll get rid of some things out of my inventory for you. We also need oh, goodness. Okay, optimal steeping has been obtained. Can't see the stomper for the wrigglers. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I can't see the stompers for the wrigglers, yeah. What we need is to have Aavak make legendary tea quality for chat. I have, on occasion, considered doing a tea cam. I have. It's true. Anything that I don't need in there is getting stripped out. But if I'm not going to remove it from over here, I can just take these away. Yeah. I don't actually feel that I need all of this information. This is the only one I really need. So if I remove that. And because of that, I no longer need to remove the signal there. I just check what's in the train. Actually, let's pop that one back. Yeah. No, I had those the wrong way around. My bad. Yeah, if anything on green is greater than on red, then that's telling me the items that shouldn't be on the train don't actually need that. It's purely for loading at this point, so that can go away. So yeah, we can take that out. This is simply checking what's on the train. Versus what I have. It's outputting the green signal, so that's the negative. That's then getting merged up here. And because of this, I don't actually need that check, realistically. I mean, I can still use it. But that's just cycling through. Realistically, I should probably check if T is there. So this isn't counting if there's no train. And T is greater than 0. I can run that on this signal. There you go. So now if there is no train, it doesn't try to do any kind of counting. Right. So, for all intents and purposes, this is checking what's available. And it is removing the items that are on the train from that value. And then if anything is still a positive, then it means I still need that thing to be loaded. This is cycling through the items that I can load and trying to load them. That's all it does. And then finally, the train comes back here. I'm going to then re-add the empty cargo so it doesn't try to leave the depot until it's been emptied. Let's check this one. Well, actually, I should have this whilst I can just do that one, yeah, at the depot. Empty cargo. Add that one in here as well. There we go. And then I just create a very simple little, if there's anything on the train, get rid of it request. It needed, this one's going to be a liquid train, so it wouldn't need the unload in the same way. It would have pipes probably going down there. I'll leave it to pipes, honestly. So there we go. Since these are active providers, anything pulled out of here is going to get pushed into the system. So just to double check that again, normally the way this will work is it would try to pick up a cargo and then go through 15 seconds of inactivity. So if there's nothing left to load, it'll move on. And then once it's at its destination, it will wait until it's emptied its cargo or it receives the go-ahead from a circuit condition. And the only places that will give that circuit condition are the supply stops, because you might not want everything that's on the train at a supply stop. And then it would return. It would unload anything that it didn't need. And so I may go ahead and add a couple more of these so we can unload them very quickly. And then it will be available to go and take on another request. There we go. The world's first ever live stream was in fact a tea cam. Wasn't it actually a coffee cam? Yeah, it was. I didn't want to know that. I didn't need to know that. Why have I been told? Why have I been given this cursed knowledge? Chat, you're awful. Awful, I say. Oh, we finally loaded the radar in there. Nice. Okay, chat, I think... Are we ready? Are we ready to hit the button and see if this does its thing? Are we ready to push the button? Ha! Auto-modded. You've been taken out, Shaba. The other thing is I could add a little cycling thing on this as well, and it might not be the worst idea. Just to ensure that this does not get too aggressive. There we go. I will pop this on random input every, let's say, every second is too often, every 5 seconds. There we go. Is it there we go. Actually, let's make that every second is fine. Okay. Time to push the button then. Automatic. It's waiting. Empty cargo inventory. And there's no signal that it was receiving just then that it wanted. No, really? Is not full, is not full. Okay. That shouldn't be the case. Okay, let me take that out then. And hook that back up. Evidently something is not right. It's trying to leave. So let's just send it over there and see what it does. Let's go to the depot. It should be receiving the signals. I have a look in here. Yeah, I've got all of the signals there. All right, let's have a look at... It's probably a naming issue. So 111 cargo. The signal is not full. Cargo. Yep. Signal not full. What about these? Are these named likewise? Fruit not full. Are the stops correctly named? That all looks alright. I got spaces in the names or something like that? Train limit 0 of 1, 0 of 1. It's got a clear signal to leave. Let's make sure there's no spaces in any of these. No, doesn't look like it. I wish I could see what signals they were receiving. Oh! I'm a dumb. Wasn't set to center train. There we go. Train was sent on the way. Started harvesting. Now while all that's going on, I'm going to go and pop that signal processor back in because I do like having that. Random input every second, please. Oh, is this red? Oh, it is red. There we go. I clearly need to update that as well then. My bad. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to need to change. Let's find the train. Still loading the fruit. What's the pollution like? Ooh. It's getting out there. There are lots of eggs over there. Wow. Okay, not the biggest fan of all that. Also, what? That's okay. Okay, this is genuinely getting the whole thing collected, my lord. That one visit has caused this much pollution. Okay, we're off. It's emptying relatively fast. Fruit's being loaded into the system. System is priming. And down we go. Now, which signals are being sent? I'm still getting all of the signals. It's kind of random which one we're going to be issued. No, we're going back for the next one. Right. Well, while that's doing, time for us to plonk down another train then. Oh. Hard to do when no trains in inventory. I will request more. He must be coming from quite some distance away. Oh. Why did you empty out that fast? Huh. Do you not base it on priority? You're grabbing supplies now. Oh. Alright. Priority ticker is very wrong. Oh. I see. I see. Okay, there's a couple of things that got a bit squiff, it seems. I should be counting. Oh. There we go. Now it's counting. There we go. Let me copy this over to a couple of the other locations. Make sure that their priority counting is happening the right way. There we go. That should now be working. There we are. Sorted. Remind me I need to update that. Chat. Right, you are down here. You're waiting for inactivity. Got a decent load of cargo. And we're off. What are we coming up here to deliver exactly? What? Oh. You're being given the signal to leave a little bit too aggressively, aren't we? If t is greater than 0, or, and. Nope. If there's a train here and I'm receiving no signal from everything else, then it's allowed to leave. Though that might still trigger it, because it would happen so quickly. Let's have a watch. Aavak is slowly perfecting Skylight. He must be stopped. Someone give him an unsolvable problem. Oh no. You don't want to see what would happen when I solve the unsolvable problems. Apparently we're still loading. Okay. Evidently we have got stuff to load. Yeah, I suppose so. Right, let's have a watch. Are you in fact going to do the thing you need to do? No, you don't. Okay. Reason for that is that this is generating its signal way too fast. This needs 1, 2. It's got a few things that need to happen here. Let's remove that for now. I want to see if there is actually anything it's going to try and unload, but I'm fairly certain that I've got nothing on the train that it can unload. So I might want to remove the gates off this circuit. Oh, interesting. I actually need to check if there's anything in this signal. Problem with that is that I can't afford to check the robots as well. Because if the robots are also a part of the signal, then that causes me an issue. Whereas I do just want that to kind of empty out. Alright, I'm going to add in here. Empty cargo. If it's finished emptying out, and 5 seconds of inactivity, and down here as well, and 5 seconds of inactivity. That way it should be able to empty whatever it's currently doing. But the issue here is that I am not giving this system enough time to work out. Well, to be fair, actually, no, it is. It is. There's nothing in the train that can be passed along. Since I'm not actually making these available, I'm going to take it out for now. Though this is still going to want the underground bridges. Let's just empty those out of my inventory to see if the train is okay with that after that. But realistically, we're not actually using them here. It's these that we're using at the outposts. So I am going to take those off. That will probably have removed anything to be wanted here, but... Right, tick. Let's pop that in. Right, train will be gone. Likewise, may as well update all of these then. There we go. I'll copy that into the blueprint. Oh, is there really any reason to have it be blue belts? Probably not, if I'm honest. they're not really going to help anything other than keeping things a little bit uniform, which, you know, is definitely useful in its own way. Right, let's follow you. Where are you headed to? Why do you keep bouncing back and forth? Go to the pickup, go to the drop-off, and then it should have come back here. But it seemed to get stuck, weirdly. Right, now it's off to grab some fruit. Right, while it's doing that, let's get another train down then. Add it to this group. And automatic. We're going to go and do some supply. And now time to add another train. Loading up with gubbins. Takes much longer to load than it does to unload, but that's okay for now, I think. Off to grab more Yumako fruit. And finally... Right. There we go. Gone from 2 trains, one that was pretty much only a passenger train, to 4 trains. Oh, did the other train get down there yet? Oh, it went for jelly nut? Oh. There we go. Very briefly, it's got -1. Interesting. There were 2 trains trying to do that. I should probably filter this for only positive numbers. Yes, I very much should do. And then each positive output each. Actually, just output it as a single one. There's no reason to have it anything else. There we go. Right. Should see a lot more going on now. Actually, that being said, if the only thing that's being requested is jelly nuts and supply, then probably won't be seeing too much going on, actually. jelly fruit coming through. Alright. Now it's generating way more pollution than we've ever seen before. But my hope is significant that we're not going to have to deal with that too terribly much. I'll have to get more jelly nuts. The supply train heading down. What were you asking for exactly? Oh, you want a little bit of everything. Holy crap. Fair enough. And you're getting loaded with a little bit of everything too. Okay, well, the system is running. How much fuel did we have towards the end? We were down to quite a small amount, actually. I'm a little bit concerned about you. I'm thinking I might want some extra defenses around here, but we'll see. Right, let's have a look. How is the system running right now? We don't have any eggs in there yet. Right. That shouldn't have allowed this to prime then. Kind of surprised by that. But we do need to go and get some eggs, so... let me go and do just that. I could have requested them, I suppose. Yeah, I absolutely could request them. But I'll do it manually. Oh, is that here? It was. It's dealt with, though. Do you have any eggs at all? Apparently not. No. It seems that you'll only get eggs if it happens very recently. That's a shame. Okay. I was really hopeful that would help. But alas, no. Okay. Well, in that case then, gonna need to take the tank out. And hit a nest. I will eventually win this tree. Eventually. Yeah, gonna need some eggs. That being said, actually, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just hook this up so that the inserters won't run if I'm requesting that this not operate. I probably should, actually. Yeah, I absolutely should. There's so many little things that I'm now becoming aware of that would be a great improvement to the system. I'll probably tidy up the all of my blueprints later, though. I'm in no great rush to do it now. And finally these as well. Because the thing is while having the eggs would be fine, I don't really need that right now. Like at all, actually. What I need is to get this system running. What exactly is it waiting on? Oh, it's waiting on bioflux. There we go. All right. Right then. We need to move this around to a smelting stack somewhere. And I'm kind of thinking the smelting stack is going to have to be down here, but oh my god, I'm going to have to go through all that. Unpleasant. That does seem to be the most logical place for me to put my smelting stack, though. The alternative would be to run the lines through here and build the smelting stack in this location, but I'm really not certain that would be wise. Being said, I'd be so close to so many things that would easily and happily destroy my smelting stack, so there's a little part of me that's a little bit concerned about that. Well, let's just get the basic setup. Don't particularly need to know what it is, since it's going to be largely the same setup either way. There we go, and red belts on the other side. This is not actually where I'm going to put it, by the way. I'm just setting it up. I suppose I could have it down here. Though that gets in the way then of future expansion, whereas I know this isn't going to expand. Actually, this might not be a bad place for it. Let's get it properly positioned, though, if I'm going to do that. About there, I think. Oh, that lines up. Wow. Greatly appreciated. Okay, so this is my copper line. Ultimately, I would like more than one, but for now, this is going to have to do. Realistically, though, how much can I output from... One of these can output 3. How much does this take in, though? Can I look that up? One ore every 3.2 seconds. So realistically, one of these would be able to handle 3 of these. We are nowhere near the kind of productivity down here, by the way. Like not even remotely close to it. Why are you not? Oh no. My sadness is immeasurable. I mean, you weren't meant to be using filters, frankly. I guess it's fine. Yeah, this is not going to have even remotely enough output, but 3, 6, 9, 12, 24. 6, 9, 12, 24. So I'm a little bit optimistic. Still optimistic, you understand, because there's no way, none, that we're going to have the output needed for this. Okay. It would certainly be a start at least, though. Am I going to have enough belts for that to work, though? Kind of doubt it, painfully. If I were to set up a very kind of slapdash belt manufacturing setup, it might help. Right now, all I want are the belts. No gears. I can already hear the screams. The little part of me that is happy. Right, there we go. Right, so I need to bring down my copper and my iron line. Or just bring down a... line of blue belts. I mean, I've got plenty in the system, I think. Let me drop these off. Now, having to cross over all of this, ugly, but here's what it is. I'm going to need to bring this down about here. Fairly certain I'm not going to need that much. Yeah. Okay. Right, there we are. If I have the belts to finish all of that, then great. If I do not, that sucks. This time I'm not requesting. I am requesting. I'm doing it to myself. There we go. Might have been shy by a little bit, maybe. We'll see. Is it better to use electric smelters or use carbon to drive steel ones? I actually don't know, but I suspect electric smelters. I don't believe that steel smelters can have modules, can they? Not that I'm really making use of the potential for modules over here. So, you know, take that with a pinch of salt, but... There we go. System is turning on. It's eventually just going to be these couple outputting things, by the way. Until I greatly expand this. So, and to greatly expand it, I'm going to have to shunt it all forward a bit. I'm going to need room for extra mash, probably one extra jelly as well. Because looking at this, I'm probably going to need about 5 of these running. Bacteria takes a while to break down, sadly. There we go. Got input of both iron and copper. Now, if I really, really super wanted to, I could turn some of that iron into steel, but not all of it, obviously. I could probably do something like this. And simply rotate the inputs. So that then does, of course, take off the steel line, which is, sorry, the iron line, which is not exactly the best way to do it, but, I mean, this does serve a purpose. It will get the job done. Which is, in many instances, better than getting it done perfectly. Normally I would rather it not be this close. More like something like that. Oh, what signals are we getting? We want more jelly nuts. Oh, wow. We very much want more jelly nuts, apparently. That fruit is being consumed fast. No spores down here, though. Are you not running? Oh. Balls. Yeah. It wasn't farming because it wasn't getting the command signal. Hopefully it will soon. Off we go. Okay. Now then, with that done, we need a couple more belts, but other than that, should be okay. It is time at last to set up some better production. How are we doing for production? We are currently just jamming everything into a storage crate if there is room for it to go there. Probably not the best way to do it. Let's, instead of doing that, I'm fairly certain we were doing it that way just to make sure the system was working properly. Let's have items put into passive providers instead. So it'll only get taken out if it's desired. Oh god. Why? It's requesting the seeds. Oh wait. No, that should be alright. Are there seeds over here? Yeah, there's 22 seeds there. Are you not requesting the seeds? You are, but you're not getting them because of... I'm confused. Oh, it's in a buffer chest. There we go. Make sure that these will take out of a buffer chest. I'm fairly certain this one is not requesting both. And I should be requesting both, in fact. And this one will currently be set to request these, but needs to be the other way around. There we are. All right. Couple of teething problems in the system still, but we are getting there. Now, why is this not sending the OK signal? It is. Oh. Ah, damn it. Two of my trains were just trapped. Like, let us go. Please. Well, that must be working, but there we are. More brain fruit required, indeed. What? Oh. Issues. Issues resolved. Okay. Well, I would like this smelting array to be somewhere else. Perhaps if we were to set it up around here, wouldn't be a terrible place. I'd have to do a lot of land filling, though. But I wouldn't mind that. The only big issue is I would much prefer to be setting up a bus somewhere else. They're not getting any iron because I'm not storing any. Let me add a little bit of something. Nothing too fast. I only want a little bit being siphoned off where possible. That'll now be available. There we go. Plenty of jelly nuts. And you are actually getting the fruit. Okay, so things are starting to come back together now. Okay. I guess the next thing we need is to... Well, like, doubling the fruit farm seems a bit premature. I think we need a mall. It's the next important one for us. So we're going to want plastic to be on this line, I'm going to say. Where's my plastic currently? Plastic is currently over here. Let's get rid of that then. And get rid of this. I'd like plastic and steel to basically be in the same place. Oh, yeah. We've got carbon fiber, but I'm not sure I'm going to belt that. These are the main ones that we need belted. Other things can be moved around by bots. I think would be an easy way of managing that. So we're going to want to set up some production of gears and electronic circuits. I would say would be the first ones. Gears are nice and simple. But wait, no. Because, well... Actually, yeah, 2 iron plate makes... Is it 1 gear from 2 iron plate? Yeah. No, this shrinks it down, so that's fine. We're going to want 2 more. That's going to be gears and electronic circuits here. Then, are we going to belt red and blue? Red and blue circuits belted as well, chat? Or kind of spaghetti belts to get it to where it needs to be? Belt them, okay. I'll leave those there for now then. We will want iron coming on that side, iron going out on that side. There we go. I'll bring it down to bottom like that. There is always the infinite productivities. I don't see much reason to go. Well, I guess it's not that expensive. Some of them getting quite expensive though. So I was avoiding the infinite productivities, but I guess steel productivity isn't a bad one ultimately. Sure. I'll throw that down for you. Then it's 3,000 after that. Once we hit the 3,000s, I may as well sort out the 2,000s. Grab that one as well while I'm there. There we go. That'll have us going for a while. Alright, I want a nice branch over here. There we go. That'll get us gears. Of course, it's going to take us a bloody age because I'm making them so slowly. You know what, though? For the sake of this little bit, I can probably just plonk this down here somewhere. That said, production of steel and copper bacteria is basically stopped. Why's that? You're waiting to get through. It's likely because everywhere is requesting something. You just need seeds. Reasonable. What about down here? What are we requesting at the supply depot down here? Seeds, bots, and power. It's going to be a while before I can supply that. And over here... yeah, power as well. We've got stupid amounts of seeds available. It's just a matter of getting them to the place they needed. Okay. I wonder if I could get Ridwen to deliver some belts to us. I'm actually requesting them, so... is Pridwell just not picking any up? I need to set up Pridwen's requests over here. There is a stupid amount of potential on Novice to send them, but they're not being sent. Have I ever made one? Oh. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that we have some of those bloody things in the system. That signal was very, very jank. How are we doing over here? We need rocket fuel. That actually doesn't surprise me too much. We need oil full stop, really. Well, that being said, we've got rocket fuel. Has there been a break in the line somewhere? Yep. Yep. Ah! How on earth did that happen? When did that happen? That must have been an age ago that that occurred. Just wow. So that's why Pridwen has not been picking things up. But while we're here, let's actually set up Pridwen properly. So I'm going to say, okay, interrupt will be Nalvis, and I'm going to say that this is Pridwen's home. So I'm going to mark the home location with a heart. When should you come home? Let's say if all requests are fully satisfied, and the circuit condition is a check mark, so, you know, it's safe to go home. That should always be the first thing. If it's safe to travel and all requests are satisfied, then go to Dalvis, yeah. And whilst there, wait until all requests satisfied. Actually, I shouldn't have left anywhere unless this worked. Nalvis should be a special case in that I don't want to leave Nalvis unless everything is being complete, because this is going to be where Pridwen comes for repairs. So that makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm just going to say that Pridwen shouldn't leave Nalvis unless Pridwen has picked everything up. I guess the other thing I could do is add in like a time pass, so at least 30 seconds have to have passed since you arrived before you move on. Now, let's have a look at my signals right now. Presently, I am... This allows me to turn on or off the ability for the ship to move, so if it isn't receiving this, then it's not... this will never be satisfied. Do I really care? About how much fuel we have. I sort of do, yeah. I want to make sure we've got enough fuel here. Right now, I am using this to trigger the thrusters. I want to see where our speed kind of sits when we're at our most efficient. Thruster efficiency is almost at 80% now, and our speed is about 130. How about then we simply say if speed is not equal to 0, and speed is lower than 130, then this is going to be allowed to enable the fuel thruster. think I'm going to take this away. Now let's do away with the clock in its entirety. Let's purely base this on speed. If speed is down, then add more fuel. If I've come to a complete stop, then don't allow fuel into the system, I guess. Because once we're on the move, our speed will never be completely bottomed out. Either that, or I could check whether I'm actually heading somewhere or not. Oh, that was setting out the input count. I'll just say 1. Right, let me have a look in here. We'll be setting off in a little bit. Right, let's add a new interrupt. We want this one to be the Gleber. I guess. I'll mark places I'm just visiting with a thruster and places that are considered the hub, the home, as having a heart. First reason for the interrupt would be... I'll just save that for now, but go home if all requests are satisfied. This one should be if any planet import is 0. So if I'm completely out of something that I need from that planet. And pretty much that is the only reason that I would want to go here. Yes, I would say. Then go to Gleber. The weight condition should be circuit condition tick is at least positive. And what other reasons would we have? I guess all requests satisfied would be a decent enough reason to leave. And time has passed of 30 seconds. Pretty much what we've got there. But we did want to do some more things over here. Also, my phone was buzzing there. Let me just double check something. Okay, nothing important. I'm going to say if there's any agricultural science packs. Yeah, I could say if 5 minutes has passed and there are any agricultural science packs on board, then we should leave. Because I'm currently trying to request 2,000. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable one. So, or if I'm good to go and I have item count of agri science packs is greater than 0. So if there's any, and time passed has been 5 minutes. So if either of those two conditions is complete, then we should leave. All right. I'm going to nuke... I'm going to put the Gleber request up? No, I guess with this one... Is there a way for me to check if I'm already at that station? All requests satisfied. Any planet import. Any request not satisfied. Oh, actually... I guess I should also add into this one any planet import 0 for Nauvis. So either or. If all requests are satisfied or there are any requests for Nauvis, then I should go to Nauvis. Now my concern is that this will in effect send us on. And we were sent straight back here, which is my worry. But I can read where I'm moving to, I suppose. Moving from. Oh, I know I can orbit on Kleber until my cargo is ready. This ship is easily capable of handling it, but I wanted to pick things up from Nauvis, and I want it to go down the list, I guess. Nauvis is effectively the hub that it should return to. Duffelfish says, more code. Sadly, I'm a bit frazzled from work to keep up, though I am curious to see if you find a way to do it without sending signals between surfaces. What are you referencing, Duffelfish? What I'm doing right now, or...? Effectively, what I'm trying to do right now is do this purely through interrupts. As far as I know, the issue is that you can't send a signal from planet to platform to planet. What is the issue that you're trying to resolve here, mate? You're gonna have to explain it a little bit more, because it feels like I'm having half a conversation. I was assuming you wanted to ferry science across when needed, so it doesn't spoil an orbit. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So it's right now it's just checking the circuit, checking cargo, checking if time has passed. Now there are ways that I can do this easily enough. For example, though I might need to scooch some room somewhere. Where is that green signal going? It goes right around. It never actually enters here, which is a pain. But I do have a spot right there that I could use. Effectively, I could create a... and this is what I did on the community server. Why am I using that as the command line? Oh, well, I guess I am. Let's pop that there. Pop this across. So, what I would do here is check if there is some certain thing that should mean, hey, you should go and drop this off. Now, one of the ways I did that on the community server is a little bit more involved. I calculated how much room the cargo of the platform could hold, as in the amount of actual inventory slots. And as it approached its maximum inventory slot allowance, so effectively what I did is I took the total sum of all things on there and divided it by the stack size, and also then added one for the modulo of anything that didn't perfectly divide, and that gave me the amount of slots that it would use. And then I had to just tell it how many slots the whole platform had based on the amount of silos that it had. And then if it was getting close to that, it said, okay, well, I've got a full cargo, so I'm going to go home, effectively. That was the way that calculated. So, what I will do in here is any planet's import is 0, and circuit condition. Where are we? Gleba is equal to 0. So I'm not going to try and go to Gleba if I'm already there, basically. And right now, I guess I could... This is fine. If Gleba has this, it should go there. Like, but normally I would have added in this as well. So circuit condition X is also 0. That I would put on everything. This I would tailor each planet to have that. So pop like so. And if I simply remove this, it should go to Nauvis because it can't... Even though it wants to... It'll do these in order. It can't do this one because I'm already at Gleba, so that no longer satisfies that requirement. I was moving from Gleba, and so it's like, well, I can't go back to Gleba because I'm moving from Gleba. So moving out. But in terms of telling the platform that Nauvis needs a bit more agri-science or something like that, that one isn't terribly hard to set up. Oh, wow, those things really bump this up, don't they? This does not update fast enough. That remains on for 2 ticks, I guess. Not really giving us the best efficiency, I must confess. Efficiency is almost up at 90%, then boom, right back to 75. Efficiency up to over 90%, and back down to 75. So it's hovering between efficiency of 75 and 95 and 90%. I could drop that though. I could say, let's make this, if it's, as long as it's lower than 100. That should keep our efficiency way up there. There we go. So now that we're here, we're going to satisfy some things. Circuit 1 is not ready. We're building up our... it should be, I think. Oh, that should be higher than, my bad. Save interrupt. So it's going to hang around now at Nauvis until all of its requirements are met. It won't leave Nauvis. I should actually add in here that if circuit condition Nauvis is equal to 0. Well, actually, this is kind of the terminus. If it's got nowhere else to go, it should stay here, basically. It'll go to any of the others first. So as soon as they're viable, it'll take that trip. Just overproduce the agri-science and dump the spoilage to automate is what I'm doing late game. Yeah, that's kind of where I would be as well, Shadowvamp. I wouldn't worry too much about that one. The thing with science is, if when I pick up the science, I cannot get rid of it, then that's a good indication that that the planet doesn't need it. But if the ship is always out of science, that's always needing to pick it up, then, you know, it's being consumed effectively. You could hold a smaller amount of it though, in order to try and avoid oversaturation in that regard, but your mileage may vary on that one. If I have a look at Nauvis, how's the production going down here? I could probably do with some beacons, honestly. Do I even have beacons? I do. I haven't unlocked beacons. Let's use beacons. Can I use a substation down here? Should be able to. Yep. Alright, what are you requesting? Don't think I'm making beacons, so I probably should. Could you make me some beacons? You're requesting the splitters, that's fine. Okay, as for Gleba, not in the best way, really, are we? Got more than enough fruit. Well, I say that. What we seem to be lacking is the signal coming down here to request booting? Yeah, no, it's asking to be booted up. We need more of this. It is completely being silenced. Where are the trains right now then? What signals are we receiving? We're kind of asking for all of them, really. It is entirely possible. What? Oh no. It's stuck in an endless loop. That's exactly the same problem that we saw at the main. Okay. That's an issue. So what is it moving? And why? I guess is the bigger question. Why is it constantly moving there? It's just perpetually cycling between these. Not quite sure why that's happening, if I'm honest. It wants 5. Sees 5 down to -1. Well, let me embiggening that again. Sorry about that. I mean, it's technically correct, but I think the problem here is that the delay. There's that delay that exists. Let's remove this for now. Until I can better resolve that system. And I've got a plan for it. It's just... I know what I must do. I just don't know if I'm strong enough to do it. Effectively, I need to create a state machine. First, I need to perform unloading, then I need to perform loading, and they need to be discrete. And once loading is complete, then the train can leave. But unloading first, then loading. Not unloading and loading. That's what's creating the endless cycle. It's not a difficult thing to do. I've just spent so much time working on combinators already this stream. But effectively, based on the train's appearance, you first check, is there anything I need to unload? And if there is, you issue an... you first go through that function, but the loading function requires a green signal from the unloading function. So it has to go through in sequence. First, there's like just a single signal. Actually, let me quickly demonstrate. I'm not going to write the code, but I'm going to demonstrate what I mean. Where is my character right now? Probably over here. Yes. Let's do this. So the signal would be like this. Actually, let's use these. Tonk. The first signal that would come through would be like a tick. And tick equals 1. Then do something. It lets some input move through. Perhaps I've got the contents of the train or something. Then, you know, output everything on green. And then it performs some function. But a little bit further up, there would be another combinator that would be over here doing something. Let's say whatever signal was coming through on green is what I need to be managing. But in the event that that green signal wasn't there, then I would have this check for if everything is equal to 0. So if there's no signal at all, output tick 1. And the command line would do this. Go between all 3. This one only activates if the tick is equal to 2. So state 2. Mode 1, mode 2. The program has to go through this first. So this is my unloading or whatever, my unloading or loading, whichever way around I want to do them. So first state is tick 1. That could simply be, is there a train in the station? If so, output. Yeah, in fact, it probably would be that. Probably be something like this. If t is greater than 0, output a tick as 1. And that would be the first part of the sequence. So it doesn't do anything if there's no train there. But the moment there is a train there, it goes into this sequence and it starts checking if there's stuff it can unload off the train. And for as long as there is a signal saying, yeah, there's something on the train that I want, I'm going to unload it until that says there's nothing on the train that I want. At which point this signal is now true because all of the potential signals are 0. There's nothing on the train I want. It now outputs a green tick as well. That changes the signal here to a 2, which means this one can't be active anymore. It cannot any longer unload something. And that's the important part, is you want it to not flip-flop between trying to unload something and trying to load something, and then now trying to unload it because there's something on there to unload, and so on and so forth. You want it to go through a sequence, and each sequence basically allows the next one to start happening, but will permanently deny the last one until a time that the train leaves, and then the whole system resets effectively. So this one would only activate if there was 2, and this would be the loading function. And at that point, it will load. And that way, even if there's some value that would, for whatever reason, flip-flop, that won't occur. You'll simply overload it in some way or underload it in some way, whatever. But it won't just get stuck there in an infinite loop. Hey, Enceladus, how you doing, buddy? Let's get rid of those. But for now, we've done the simple thing of just simply denying the unloading of these trains. They'll simply load everything up and then, cause issues. If I'm honest, that's probably the outcome. Alright, there we go. Let's have a look at these. Yeah, no, they're loading. It's slow, but it's happening. Alright, where are you off to next? Gonna go grab some jelly nuts? Really? I guess, yeah. And then following that, there is currently no red signal allowed. I'm somewhat surprised that this one isn't issuing a... Oh. That is why that red signal has been negative every now and then. That makes sense. Okay, well. System is now doing its thing. I very much need to tweak the stops. Hey, oh, Cringer. Welcome, Raiders. We are gleebin. Cringer, have you been playing the new Factorio? I think you have, haven't you? I think I've spotted you playing it. Is this the Aavak? No, I am an echo. Lost in time. Hello, buddy. Chat, if you're not already following Cringer, then please do click on that button. That should be at the top of chat right now. I played it some, got to space, but didn't get a ton done there. I mean, I got to another planet, and I've since been trapped there. It is an interesting existence, to be certain. We've got some big stompy boys over here, and slender, less stompy, more annoying boys. Spooters, yes. We've got stompers and strafers. I'm having a load of fun on Gleba, don't get me wrong. But it is definitely a system that if I was just the sort of player who was willing to brute force it, I'd already have finished everything and left. I'm not that kind of player, as you may have noticed. So instead, that's a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Maybe I should not be prioritizing input from... Uh-oh. Who's Angie? Oh, they're all Angie. Oh, no. Cannons? Oh, no. Oh, super no. Power is down, and... Okay, well, that was definitely a thing that just happened. Gonna need more guns. That's the biggest attack we've had to date. By a large margin. We lost 93 things. Up to now, we have mostly lost a couple of power poles here and there. But that was very much the largest attack we've had to date. Those are big boys, yeah. Gonna need more guns is absolutely true. We can definitely do that, though. Well, there's part of me that just wants to copy this fortification over. But that was definitely a bit of an issue. Oh, man, they broke some stuff that was important. Ugh, okay, I'm going to have to walk over there. And by walk, I mean drive a tank over there. Where is my tank? My tank is down there. Oh, before I go, though, let me make sure that this is working correctly. So, I actually want the fruit that's already in the system to cycle. So it keeps moving. Rather than taking new in, I would rather the whole thing keep cycling. There we go. That's a bit better. Right, let me go and deal with that. I need to add some more bits. Oh man, my supply trains are going to be busy for a little bit. Don't get run over, don't get run over, don't get run over. Hooray! Off we go. Thing is, we actually have the tech now to start making explosives in Gleba. And with that come rockets. Rockets would likely make this a problem that wouldn't be as rough. That is going to be an issue, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, quickly then. Can I please have more gun? I see you over there, you scoundrel. Dancing around. More gun. Need more gun. Clocks. Apply more gun. Now, I could take tank out to apply some gun, but tank against these things, not great. I need much, much bigger shells for that. That is an issue, though. Those egg rafts have gotten a little bit Too aggressive. Still. Let's be gone. I'm going to park over here for now. Uh-oh. What's being attacked? Are there more things being attacked? What? God damn it. They're sneaking in. Train defense is a solid option, to be fair. Okay, you know what though? You know what the best option would be? It would be to have rockets. I need processing circuits for that, which is kind of an arse to set up. More than anything, I actually need fruit to be coming through. And for bacteria to be doing its thing. Why is it not? Okay. Okay. The application of more guns seems to have worked. But I'm sincerely confused as to why this is not functioning as it should. You should be getting a signal to activate. These are active. Oh, there we go. That's generating. Is it just that you don't have... You've got plenty of spoilage. Oh. Oh, we're going to need to update our biogenesis module. Damn. It never occurred to me that biogenesis module would ever have spoilage inside it. But it does. There we go. Let's kickstart the process again. Okay, now that we've worked out where the stoppage was, the system should come back online. Alright. Let's go back to space, back to the Pridwen. How is Pridwen doing? I'm going to tell Pridwen not to request as much of these. 50 each is enough. You are requesting a lot of things that I am not going to be able to bring over here. I'm going to say no more module requests. Unnecessary. Likewise, no more requests for these either. Okay. Pridwen is heading to Gleba now. It's bringing along some belts, which will be useful for us. The efficiency is shooting up right now. And until our speed drops below 100, it doesn't get any extra injection of fuel. There we go. It does get so much pulled in though, which is like, it's only on for a tick or two. But that pulls our efficiency all the way back down below 80. Stop your shenanigans. Lost all those guns there. I could go and force a battle, but... Oh crap. What are you doing over here? Oh, they don't have a very long lifetime, do they? Another big fight. Wow, we had such peace for so long. The Glebans are getting angry. They're tired of us. They've had enough. Can't say that the feelings aren't mutual, but we have much to do. Too much to do. Actually, I'm going to need to move this to the side a little bit more. There we go. Right, okay. I think it's rather evident that we are, in fact, going to need to deal with some of this. Pridwen is going to sit here for 5 minutes. Probably not a good amount of time for us to have Pridwen hanging around. I'm going to tell Pridwen to only wait for 2 minutes in the future. And we'll just update this accordingly. Because it's not going to get any science for now. In fact, I could turn off the request for that science for the time being as well. But I think letting it sit there for now is not a terrible idea. If we want to push, I'm going to need to make that push relatively soon. I also need to massively expand this area in order to actually make use of the bacteria production. Because right now, nowhere near enough. Right. I'm somewhat concerned that I really do not have enough room over on this side for everything I'm going to need. Copper. And then we're going to want to import iron, export the circuits. Oh, that's a little bit off to the side. My hope had been to have a much more permanent location by this point for all of this sort of stuff, but we are very far from that. I actually need all of this in there and to request red belts. Which for the most part are going to be coming from Pridwen. These attacks are most definitely becoming an issue. Large part of that issue is how frequently I'm harvesting right now. Up to now, we've maintained a very delicate truce with the Glebans in that we were not pulling in as much as we could by a fair margin. Well, that has changed.